Hello children, how are you all? Myself Komaljimi Mehta and I'll be engaging your subject English for classes 8th to 12th. Okay, and today your very first lesson is this one, the portrait of a lady, right? And we'll be understanding this lesson in detail. So let us see what this lesson has to say in depth. Okay. So let us further with this text, that is Hornbill in English for class 11, and that is for your core course. So let us see, that is today we will be taking the portrait of a lady, that is by Khushwant Singh. Khushwant Singh, as you all know, is a very prominent Indian writer in English. Okay, so his works are well known, and one of his famous work, that is his own autobiography, that went viral and that is quite famous. So this is such a beautiful quote given at the start of your text, that is, students, it says effective reading is receiving from others their ideas and feelings. Okay, what does this mean? Effective reading is something that you can engage into the give and take of ideas and feelings. If you can feel the pain of others, or if you can feel what the author has to say, probably the message will always be conveyed. And ideas, okay, receiving from others their ideas, okay, and what it has to say, what the text has to say, or what the poetry has to convey, what the language has to convey. Okay, so effective reading will always be will always be something that will remain with you. Okay, so let us notice these expressions, students. The first expression is the thought was almost revolting. Okay, what does this expression mean? The thought was almost revolting means the very idea was disgusting. The idea was not so good. Okay, so this means the very idea was disgusting. Okay, we'll remember this. Then a veritable bedlam of chirplings. Okay, what does this means? A veritable bedlam of chirplings, that is absolute confusion of twittering, that is chirping by birds. Okay, choo 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 choo, all the birds that do. Okay, so that is confusion caused by the chirping of birds. Then an expanse of pure white serenity. Okay, this is one expression used here, that is somebody who exuberates calmness. Okay, vast area of calm and tranquility, what you say. And frivolous rebukes. Okay, so it means light-hearted scoldings or light-hearted chidings, how your grandmother would chide at you or would scold you. Okay, then is a turning point. Turning point is very simple, something that changes the usual course of events. Okay, then is this one, the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum, that is the noise caused by a worn out drum. Okay, so dilapidated is something that is worn out, that is shabby, that is flabby, and that is of no use. Okay, now let us further and understand the text in detail. My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. Okay, so before starting, let me give you a little summary of this lesson. The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant is a heartwarming pen picture of Khushwant Singh's grandmother. Okay, so there are majorly two characters, Khushwant Singh and her grandmother, who brought him up. Okay, the author describes his association with his grandmother and the changes that came about in their relationship with the passage of time. Okay, her simplicity, her beauty, everything that has had a kind of impression on the mind of Khushwant, and that is what he pens down. Okay, so now let us start with the text. It says, my grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. People said that she had once been young and pretty and had had a husband, but that was hard to believe. Okay, so the author says, the Khushwant Singh is of the opinion that, like everybody's grandmother, her grandmother was an old woman, right? She had been old and wrinkled for 20 years. So he says that it's been 20 years that she has grown old. So probably she is in her 70s. So past 50 she has grown old. People said that she had once been young and pretty and had even had a husband. Okay, so people say that she had been very young and pretty and had a husband, but that was hard to believe. But the author says that it was very tough to believe. Why? My grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. What is a mantelpiece? A mantelpiece is a kind of photo frame you see, right, students, that hangs in your room. Okay, so that is made up, it could be of wood, it could be of any kind of metal, a kind of photograph that we generally place it on a pedestal in a drawing room. He wore a big turban, right? So his grandfather, it is slightly funny for the author to imagine his grandmother having a husband, and he says, my grandfather's portrait hung on the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He says that my grandfather's portrait hung above at the pedestal. What is a pedestal? What is a mantelpiece? It is a kind of place where we hang the photographs of all those who have passed away. Okay, he wore a big turban and loose fitting clothes. Okay, so the author says that it's so delightful to recall him wearing a big turban and loose fitting clothes. Okay, his long white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. So as you know, Khushwant Singh, he is from Punjabi background, students, and of course he's a Sikh, so that is one reason that his grandfather would also be Sikh, and all he can see in the photograph is this pretty beard and a long white beard covered with best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. So he says even though the photograph of his grandfather is quite that of a young photograph, but quite of an age when he was young, but he feels that he is the grandfather is quite old. He did not look the sort of person who would have a wife or children. Okay, so he says that it is very difficult for him to imagine looking at the portrait hung on the wall of the drawing room. He says he too looked very old and very grandfatherly. Okay, and looking at his portrait, one could visualize that he had many grandchildren, but one could not imagine him in his youth with his wife and children. That becomes slightly difficult for the author, that is Khushwant Singh. Okay, his long white beard covered the best part of his chest. Yes, that we read. Okay, he looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. As for my grandmother being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. Okay, so yes, just like him, we as children too sometimes do, it becomes very difficult for us to imagine our parents being young and how they made love and how they actually reared us, and you know, it becomes a very tough part. Yes, it is a part and parcel of everybody's growing up, and it is a part and parcel of everybody's personality. She often told us of the games she used to play as child. Okay, so Khushwant says that she often narrates about the kind of games that she used to play as child. That seemed quite absurd and undignified on her part, and we treated it like fables of the prophets she used to tell us. Okay, so whenever she talked of the kind of games she enjoyed, it could be kho, it could be, you know, anything that she enjoyed, it becomes very difficult for the author, that is Khushwant, to take all of these things, and all he feels is that it feels like fables. Fables are stories, students. Fables of the prophet she used to tell us. Okay, so fables of the priest and prophet she used to tell us. So it becomes as if somebody is lecturing, and he is someone who doesn't want to listen to his youth, to her youth, to her childhood at all. Okay, she had always been short and fat and slightly bent. Now here the author starts to describe her physical features, and he says that the grandmother was short-heighted, a little plump and slightly bent. Okay, so he can imagine his back a little bent. We can imagine a real old lady, okay, by the kind of description he has given. Her face was crisscross with wrinkles. Look at the words he has made used. Crisscross. Okay, so it was all wrinkly. She was a typical grandmother, typical Sikh grandmother, running from everywhere. Okay, so everywhere to everywhere. So he could imagine her hobbling from a place to place. Okay, students, we'll stop here. I guess the remaining last important part we'll discuss in other video, and also the question answers. I hope you all also read this. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video. Enjoy. If you have any doubts, feel free to connect. Lots of love. Take care.